lot of women, especially black women, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but I will. In our society right now, black women are making a lot more money for the most part than black men, right? There are a lot of black men who are successful, but for the most part, black women are making the money. So if you can find love, if that man works, at whatever job and is a good man and is good to you and honors the house and honors his wife and does what he can because his gift may not be your gift.
Exactly.
That is okay. That's not somebody who's beneath you.
Yeah.
That's somebody who came to love you at your worth, right?
Yes.
And as long as he's secure in himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money, all I can pay is the light bill, as long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm going to cover the mortgage and all the other stuff, you handle the light bill, baby, you can take me to dinner every now and then, that is fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Peace, power, and prosperity. Rob Black Storm. What's going on? On the way to the gym this early morning. I want to talk to y'all about something I was looking at. This whole Tyler Perry, men just pay a light bill. If your woman makes more money than you, if she's the higher earner, and you're a man, you should feel comfortable just paying the light bill and accepting the love from this quote-unquote good man. Well, what is a good man really? Like, what does that term good mean? Because good could mean something different, right? So let's say somebody who's into BDSM, cosplay, right? It'll be good if you do certain things to her, or him, right? If you walk him on a chain, if you smack him in the face or spit in their face, right? Or call them dirty sluts, right? Or little bitches, that's okay to them, right? That's good for them, right? In other countries, it's good to sleep with children, right? 14, 13, right? You can marry in certain cultures and countries. That's good. So what does good really mean, right? This is what happens when there is no spirituality and spiritual development in the culture. You start thinking that all these ideas and concepts that you hear from humanity, that you hear from people who don't have spiritual culture but have religion, right? You start thinking that they know the truth. And because they're financially successful or successful in their career, that they know what's best for you. Now, as a man, I've dated women who made more money than me, but I myself, right, have not been one who has not been ambitious, right? Even with a criminal record, through spirituality and spiritual work, and knowing and having a gnosis of optimism, great things have happened in my life. Especially when I shift from a pessimistic, bad things are gonna happen to me because I'm black, bad things always happen to us, groupthink. When I changed my mindset and started delving deep into what I could conjure, and that I had limitless opportunity to conjure anything that I want in life, my life starts to change. Now let me say this. I've never been in a relationship with some woman that made more money than me, or a woman that made more money than me, and I didn't kick in way more than a light bill, or I wasn't paying for dinners, or I wasn't, contributing to trips, or even paying for trips, or paying for outings, or buying bottles, or buying drinks, or whatever, we was out or whatever, right? I'm not that type of person. And if I am around a woman that's making more money, I'm gonna try to learn what she did, how she did it, so I can make more too, right? You should not be comfortable being under, especially as a man, being under a woman and just paying a light bill. So I totally disagree with what Tyler Perry is pushing, because he's not pushing you coming into the best version of yourself. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean if you're in a financial situation where you lost your job, or you just coming home from prison, you ain't really got it, or, you know, you just in a bad situation, maybe you had an accident at work, you can't make the money like that, or whatever, right? There's different circumstances, health issues, right, that cause you not to be financially viable. But even in those situations, there's always a way to get some money, because you have this thing that I'm on now called the smartphone. And there's limitless opportunities available. There's so many things you could do on this computer. So many things you could create using even ChatGPT, typing in prompts on how to outline a book, or, you know, there's people who come home from prison, start YouTube channels about their prison experience, and them joints is up, right? They got, you know, I'm looking at a lot of these things, I'm like, damn, why didn't I do this shit when I came home? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of dudes that got, you know, thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of views just based on their prison experience. You may go through a hardship, right? Or some sort of health hardship, but there's people who relate to that too. So there's people with views on those type of hardships, medical situations and medical issues, and how they got through it and how they survived, right? There's an audience for everything. There's a way to monetize everything. But if you don't see yourself as a God being, if you don't see yourself as a God body, and if you're always looking for something on the outside of you in this 3D reality to spur you into your own growth and development, then you are always going to be at the bottom. You're always going to be part of the permanent underclass, and you'll never rise above that. All of it starts here in the mind and in the heart, right? You have to first think it in the mind and the head, and then you have to believe it with your emotions and your feelings. And as long as you carry that resonance throughout your day, throughout your job hunt, throughout your career moves, you work at a job. Let's even use McDonald's, right? You work at a job. You want to be comfortable. You shouldn't be comfortable just flipping the burgers, right? You should eventually want to move to the register. From moving to the register, you should eventually want to be assistant manager. From being assistant manager, you should eventually want to be the manager. I've worked in careers where I've done just that, not McDonald's, right? But I've worked in careers in different industries where I've done that. Like, I've managed whole call centers. You know what I'm saying? I've supervised teams of people, right? I've successfully motivated people to exceed their sales goals and their sales their sales quotas, even people that were already good. So why am I saying all this? I'm saying all this because there is a thread out here that being mediocre is enough, right? Being just okay is enough. And if you are a sincere spiritual worker, if you're sincerely about spiritual development, right? If you want to be, especially as a man, if you want to maintain a family and a household, you can't be comfortable just doing the bare minimum. You can't be comfortable just doing what's expected. It's okay if all you could do, if you're dating a woman and she makes more money and all you could do is pay the light bill for now. But if that's all that you are doing overall, if that's all that you are aspiring to, if you don't got your ass on that computer and you're not taking a training, a Google training, where you're trying to get certified in something, or you're not going back to school, you're trying to get a degree in something, right? Or certified in something. If you're not, learning a skill, see, a lot of people on the spiritual journey, they think that if you take a money spell or money herbs, or take money or use money herbs like dill or cinnamon or star anise, or I'm giving you some right now, right? Cinnamon, star anise, what else? Brown sugar, right? Different things you could put in your spell working that will draw abundance to you, right? Bay leaf, things like that, right? That as long as you do that, that's it. No, that's not it. This is a holistic practice, meaning it's mind and body. So yes, you could do that work where you are drawing certain things or certain opportunities to you. But if you're not going to put the work in, then nothing's going to happen. And it probably sounds like a repetitive message that I've been saying the last couple of days. But I've been through just being complacent. I've been through thinking the world is against me. I've been through thinking, oh, it's so hard being a black man, and oh, I got this F on my record, and oh, look at what I went through my childhood, and feeling sorry for myself and blaming and having excuses, right? But once you are truly in tune and truly doing the work that you are here to do, then the excuses got to go. The excuses got to go. And you have to be willing to do the work, which is training your mind and training your body, right? Training your spirit and training your soul for the best possible outcomes in life to come to you. And then things will just happen. You know what I'm saying? Like even my current career where I'm working now, like I work from home, right? I was working at another place and I didn't really like it. And I was actually gonna, leave the job, right? My goal was gonna leave the job early that year, right? Because this was like November where I'm like, man, I don't want to do this shit no more. Like, I don't like getting on the train. Like, I'm tired of this commute. Like, I'm gonna try something else, right? And boom, I ended up on my lunch break meeting one of my people, right? This is why it's important to be good to people too, to treat people the way you want to be treated. Because I ran into one of my people and that I worked with at another place, and he was like, yo, I'm working such and such, they're doing X, Y, and Z, and you could work from home, and you could do the same sales shit you're doing there. And I was like, work from home, and I'm questioning them, right? Another part of it, you gotta know the ledge, right? Understand what you're getting into, and research everything thoroughly for yourself. And I did that, and he was like, and I said, yo, all right, I'm gonna apply. And I applied, and now voila, work from home. I'm actually making more money. I'm actually doing better because I am comfortable, right? X, Y, Z. And even in business, right? When you're selling things and, got things of your own that you're moving, right? There's things that I've done out here in these streets, selling sunglasses and selling t-shirts and things like that, or with a cart, where police is coming and they're rounding people up. And I'm like, look, officer, in this world of snakes, you got to be a charmer. In the world of snakes, you got to be a charmer. And I'm like, look, officer, I'm just doing this on the weekend. I'm just trying to feed my family and make some extra money. It's tough out here. And a police officer, and I look decent, I look respectable, right? I don't look like I'm a dusty out here. Man, he's like, and the officer's like, all right, you good. And this happened multiple times too when I was street vending, right? Illegally, right? Illegally. No, you gotta have a vendor's license out here in New York. No vendor's license, right? So when I look, right, back on the miracles and look at the miracles that currently happen in my life, right, with a lot of different things, right? I'm just giving you a few examples, right? My life is full of miracles. It's full of coincidences. And the more that I put the work in, Because it doesn't happen overnight, right? This mindset of pure optimism, right, that I have now. Pure optimism. And don't get me wrong, there's things in life that set me back. There's things in life, breakups and, losses and financial losses and, things that happen. You're going to go through your ups and downs. But even when I go through my ups and downs, I'm not down too long, because I have systems in place. And even if I get off those systems for 2 days or a week or even 2 weeks, I got to come back to these systems, because these systems are what make me happy. And not only do they make me happy, by me being happy, by me being in love with myself, guess what? I can spread that love to others. I can spread that love to whoever I may or may not be dating. I can spread that love to my family. I could spread that love throughout the world that needs it, right? I could bring, if I go into a Dunkin' Donuts and get a matcha latte, I could smile and say, how's your day going, to the person at the register. And maybe that's just what they needed to hear, to the Jamaican girl at the restaurant, you know what I'm saying? If I'm picking up some motherfucking oxtails, right? I could be like, how's your day going? Or, they always say that Jamaican ladies at the Caribbean restaurants have attitudes, which is true. I could say, yo, how's your day going? How's things going? You that are watching, have to make a decision. What type of pain do you want to accept? You could have the pain of discipline, where you're doing things that you may not want to do. You're doing things that may be boring. A lot of times people don't succeed in life because they want to be entertained by everything. Everything has to be fun. Everything has to be enjoyable. Everything has to have some sort of laughter or glitz or glamour to it, right? But some of the things that you need to do are not fun. Some of the things that you need to activate in your life are not easy, right? No one really has a soft life. Even if you made a billionaire, right, and marry a billionaire, that doesn't mean your life is soft. You're going to want to have something in your life that gives it meaning. You're going to want to have a reason for waking up in the morning. An aimless life is an aimless life. No one really wants an aimless life. Think about the pandemic and where people were getting money and checks to their home, right? But they couldn't do anything really. They couldn't travel. They couldn't really enjoy it. People didn't like that. People didn't like being single during the pandemic. People didn't like not having, right? Not having someone, I should say, or not having family close to them. People didn't like that, right? There's a lot of people who were fighting alcoholism and went back to alcoholism and drug abuse during the pandemic, right? Because it was such a shock to their system, but they didn't have any systems in place that they, besides going to work and making money, that they were doing for themselves. So you always want to be aiming for higher in the now. You always want to see yourself in the most high state that you can in the now, right? You never want to be complacent. Paying a fucking light bill when you got a girl that's a millionaire is not okay. It's not cool, right? It's not wise, especially as a man, right? As a man, you want to have your own, right? Have your own place to live. Don't let a woman just be able to kick you out and you don't have your own place to live, right? And I know, look, I get it. I've been there. I understand the struggle, right? But if you are living with a woman and you don't have your own place to live, that should be your goal, right? Your goal shouldn't be just to depend on her. Your goal should be to be on that lease, right? And not on the lease because you're not contributing or because you're just laying down good dick. Your goal should be on there because you're contributing half to everything, or at least more than half, right? Providing more than half. And the goal is to always be doing better. Now, a lot of people will say 50-50 is struggle love and things like that. It all depends on, your perspective on what struggle love is. Some people need that 50 right now. There's a lot of motherfuckers out here that's homeless. There's a lot of motherfuckers out here whose cars got repossessed. There's a lot of motherfuckers out here who's jobless. Some people wish they had that 50% right now. So don't get caught up in these internet tropes where, oh, that's struggle love. Nah, 50% of something is better than 0% of nothing. 50% of something is better than 0% of nothing. So make sure you're not getting caught up again in these mindsets that don't benefit you and will leave you out here homeless in the street with your children. Because that's what's happening. There's an epidemic of single mothers out here with children that are becoming homeless. But the internet says don't go 50-50. You know? Now 50-50 ain't paying the light bill though. You know what I'm saying? That ain't shit. No man should say, oh yeah, Tyler. No man should be out here that is in spiritual work, in a spiritual community, out here saying that Tyler Perry is right. No. Right now, it's early. You know, I'm going to the gym. Right after I get off this, I'm going to the gym. You know? And it wasn't easy to get up out my house and walk to the gym. It's not easy work. This is not work that I necessarily want to do, right? But I try to make it as enjoyable as possible. When you're studying things that may be boring, put on some jazz or put on some lo-fi music, right? Make it as enjoyable as you can. But everything ain't going to be entertaining. Some of y'all are seeking entertainment in everything. Your spiritual teachers, your work, your after work, right? Everything has to be fun. Everything has to be a party. Everything has to be a ball. And then you wonder why you're stuck in a cycle of nothingness, or you can't manifest the things that you want to manifest because you're not willing to put in the work that it takes to grow. We are nothing more than plants. You need light, right? Which is information, positive, powerful information. You need water, which is spiritual flow, right? Or feelings or emotions, right? That correspond to your elevation. And you need a good soul or soil, right? And that soul or soil is the vitamins, minerals, what you eat, the foods you digest, right? And also the food for thought, right? Your gut, how it affects your gut and your gut instincts, right? And when you realize that you are a plant and your melanin, your eumelanin is chlorophyll, and it corresponds to the light, right? And that's what feeds you, right? Because it got to first start with information. If you don't know, you don't know. And getting out of the illusion that this three-dimensional world is the only world that you could tap into. There are millions of galaxies out here, right? Billions. Scientists don't know how many galaxies. They could just estimate, right? But according to their estimate, there's 1.5 billion galaxies out here. 1.5 billion galaxies. So there is another timeline where you are where you say you are. You are what you say you want to be. You just have to quantum entangle to it, right? And you just have to use repetition, right? To get there, and repetitive habits to get there. A lot of spiritual work is about you, not only shadow work, healing from your traumas, and tapping into your pain body and looking at your triggers, analyze them and see if they're benefiting you or not, right? Doing self-reflection work at night, right? Journaling, things like that. Simple things, right? This spiritual / magical / metaphysical work is not hard. It shouldn't be confusing. Yes, there are abstract ways of looking at it, but it really depends on what you want to do. If you learn how to levitate, how does that help you and your family? Yeah, you can make some money. You could be, a levitating master out here and make money, but doesn't mean you'll be emotionally mature and you know how to manage your emotions. It doesn't mean that you will be fiscally and financially responsible. It doesn't mean that you will be respected around your peers. It doesn't mean that, you will be a person of honor, right? Doesn't mean that you'll be a person that can overcome difficulty easily. None of that shit matters if you learn how to levitate. So a lot of people go into magic for the wrong things. They go into magic for a boo. They go into magic to manifest money, and that may be your doorway. But ultimately, you are the magic. Without the candles, without the crystals, you are the magic. And when you're tapped into spiritual culture, you're able to see this illusionary 3D culture for what it really is. And people who aren't really doing spiritual work cannot really give you the best personal advice on how you should manage your life, right? A multi-millionaire, billionaire who came out the gutter is telling men that it's okay to just pay a light bill if you got a woman that makes more money than you. That's crazy, because that's not what he did. That's not what he did to get to where he was. He put in work. He sacrificed. He was up late nights, right, to manifest what he wanted to manifest. That's like some of y'all doing these money spells and thinking, oh, that's all I got to do, and it's just going to come. No, you might provide, it's going to provide an opportunity, but if you don't jump on that opportunity, if you don't have the skills to meet that opportunity, and if you're not working on developing the skills to meet that opportunity, then that opportunity doesn't mean shit. That opportunity is just a waste, because you're not able to meet it where it needs to be. So I just want to touch on that real quick. Let me get my ass in the gym before it gets too late. And I will talk to y'all in the future. Peace, power, and prosperity. Let me know what you think about this subject. Drop it in the comments. Hit that like button so this can spread through the algorithm, so we can understand that you got to put in the work. You got to develop your own systems. This is being tapped in. You're in a physical body, like, you know what I'm saying? We got to be practical with this magic shit. Like, you're in a physical body. You got to put in physical work. You got to put in tangible things. You can't just be sitting back, smoking weed, taking mushrooms, meditating, and think that the universe is just going to draw things to you, and you're going to be able to capitalize on it. And it may draw things to you. Don't get me wrong, right? Most likely, if that's all you're doing, well, nah, it's not going to draw shit to you if all you're doing is smoking weed and taking mushrooms, right? But, you know, it can help you clear your mind, right? Let's say, right? That's what you need to do. It might help you clear your mind. It might open you up. Like, when I take mushrooms, it's for the purpose of healing trauma, and it's for the purpose of gnosis, right? It's getting downloads, right? It's for the purpose of peeking behind the veil, so to speak. And even now, like, I've slowed down on the whole mushroom thing, because I realized that even that is a dependence on a substance where I could see past the veil through meditation, right? When I go into the void. And it takes time. You know, a lot of people meditate one time, they say, I can't meditate. I meditate 2 times, they say, I can't meditate. It doesn't work like that. You got to be willing to tap into the parts of yourself that you don't want to, when you don't want to, and know that it's for a better outcome in the future, because the future is now. And this goes with, just like it goes with working out, it's the same thing with your spiritual work. Your spiritual work is an exercise. It's an exercise in your mental, physical, financial, and emotional greatness. Not just financial, not just mental, not just emotional, and not just spiritual, but all the above. And once you tap into these 4 corners of your life and really work on improving them, then and only then will your life improve. Then and only then will you be the magi that you need to be. I don't care how many books you read. I don't care how much you study. If you are not in the practice of working on your weaknesses, maximizing your strengths, knowing what your weaknesses are, and also being okay with who you are and where you are now, being comfortable in your own skin, and knowing that you do have greatness in you, and tapping into that greatness, and having a sincere desire to live in your greatness, then that greatness will manifest in the 3D reality and beyond. The goal is not to be the richest man in Babylon. The goal is to be the wisest. And the goal is to be the most adaptable. Because it's not who's the smartest who wins in life. It's who's the most adaptable. And that is that water element. And that water element corresponds to the spirit. And that's emotional management. And if you're truly like, you should feel shame if you're a man and you just paying the light bill in a relationship. You should be ashamed of yourself. And that shame is okay, because that shame should drive you to want to do more and want to create more and want to build more. You shouldn't be comfortable. No one should be comfortable. Comfort is for the mediocre. Comfort is in mediocrity. And if you are truly a God body and a God being, then mediocrity is not your calling. It's not in you. It shouldn't even be on you. All right, y'all. Peace, power, and prosperity. Again, let me know what you think in the comments. Rob Blackstorm. Like, share, subscribe. Peace.
Have you made a lot of money out of your music?
Money. I mean, how much is a lot of money to you?
Yeah, that's a good question. Have you made, say, millions of dollars?
No.
Are you a rich man?
When you mean rich, what you mean?
Do you have a lot of possessions? A lot of money in the bank?
Position make you rich? I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life, forever.